Hey everybody, Tony here at Creekside, and I bet you're thinking I'm absolutely insane, and what the heck am I doing, and why are you taking a weed burner, a propane burner, and putting the flame to the inside of your house? You want to burn your house down? I know, everyone's got all kinds of critiques about this, I'm sure. I'm sure everyone's saying, look at it burn, it's not burning, don't worry about it. There's nothing, no embers, nothing like that. The big question, I guess, is why am I doing this? I'll tell you. Because here it is so cold where we're at in Canada. What we did, and I'm going to share this with you, even though it's frustrating, I want to see if I can save somebody else the same frustration, the time, and the money. Now, typically, when you insulate a home, when you build it, you just insulate it all and then put your vapor barrier over it. Well, that's what we've always done. And you typically do it when it's warmer. However, here, it's been minus 20, minus 30. Today it's minus 35 outside, and it's supposed to go down to minus 45 to 47 this afternoon. So what we did, not thinking, is we just insulated the entire house. Well, we've got house wrap on the outside, but we didn't put the vapor barrier on the inside until, or start to do that until we had all the insulation in, all the different walls and the gable ends. Well, what happened was because we didn't get the vapor barrier on right away, all behind that insulation, you can see it right here. All this white stuff, that's all frost, all frozen. And so after we did the entire insulating of the house, we've now had to remove all the insulation, and I'm using my propane heater. It's the only way to get the frost off. It's so cold outside that it will not melt itself off inside. And I know some people say, well, why don't you just lock the doors and wait until spring? We don't have that option. We don't have another place to live. This is our home now. As you know, we've been in the tent for 5.5 months, and it's way too cold, and the conditions are way too impossible for us to be living in that tent any longer. So what we've been doing is taking sections of each wall, 16 to 20 foot sections. We pull the insulation out. I don't know if you can see this on here or not, but there's water all over this insulation. Yeah, could have left that in there, sure, and then it would have created mold, mildew, rot, and then it would have ruined the house plus our health. So I guess a word to the wise, if you're going to build in a very cold climate, make sure that you put your insulation in sections and then get vapor barrier right over it, especially if you've got a wood stove. See, our wood stove has been cooking around away here, keeping it warm inside, and so that created the condensation because the warm air inside the house, because there was no vapor barrier on yet, went through the insulation and hit the back wall where the cold air was. They collided in that little air zone and created the condensation. So the entire house had to be redone. We have got almost all of it. We're 2/3, I'd say, halfway, 2/3 done. We haven't touched the gables yet. We got to do those. But I have one long wall done, the back wall there done, half of the wall by the door done. We'll have this part here done today and over there done today. So that'll leave just the gable ends that we have to pull and dry and repack and then put the vapor barrier on. Any other shortcuts won't work. Trust me. This has been very, very time-consuming and very frustrating for us to put it all in the wall and then have to take it all back out again just because we didn't get the vapor barrier on fast enough. Nothing else we could have done. You live and learn. We just thought, let's insulate first, then put the vapor barrier on. That's what we've always done. But this is the first time we built when it's been minus 40 out too. As soon as you put insulation in that wall, get that vapor barrier on and get it sealed up so that you don't have to, do what we've had to do. And do I know better? No, honestly, I've done lots of insulating. I've done lots of building, but it's all been warm climate. Never have we seen the temperatures. I mean, let's face it, folks, minus 40 is cold. Minus 25 is cold, but that's where we've been living. So, yeah, you can critique it. Yeah, you can say, well, you should have done this, should have done that. Anyhow, that's not the point. The point is you live and learn. We've discovered that in this cold climate, you have to do it in sections and get the vapor barrier on so that you don't get condensation. Because honestly, within 6 to 12 hours, it starts forming frost if you don't get the vapor barrier right on. We weren't aware of that. We didn't think it would happen that quickly, but it did. We keep the temperature inside the house. It's been right around 60 to 70, 72. So I guess you live and learn, and we're going to get back at it. To give you an idea of how wet it is, you can see right down here, that's all water right there. That's from the frost I'm melting off. And I know you're worried, oh, what if you start a fire? We've got lots of water here, but trust me, these are so wet. I could hold this right on there for 5 minutes and it will not ignite it. It's that cold, that much frost, and that wet. We're just doing what we have to do. Do not try this at home. I would not suggest you do this yourself at home. But this is what I have to do to get these walls dry enough for insulation. You do what you have to do. I do what I have to do. That's not the wood snapping and cracking. That's just remnants of pieces of plastic that were on the wall. Now you can see the water. You look down below here, you can actually literally see the water running down the wall. That's why I'm not worried about, starting a fire. Concerned about those embers up there. That'll go right out. Too wet and cold for it to burn. I'll make sure I put water on it though to be safe. And just so everyone knows, we do not put insulation back in the wall until we do an inspection and make sure there is no embers, no fire, no flame, nothing.